Whatever kind of classroom you may find yourself walking into, empowering educators is the spark, the anchor, and the perspective you need. It is your quick hit of clarity and perspective, crafted for teachers who want to teach with purpose, build stronger relationships, and create classrooms where students thrive. Think of it as your daily dose of good practice in action. Practical, grounded, and designed to create spaces where students feel seen, safe, and ready to learn, while also allowing teachers to find their own authentic flow. All right, let's dive into today's episode. Welcome to Empowering Educators. This is Ben Russell from Empowerment Ed. Today we're exploring two behaviour strategies that work beautifully together: partial agreement and directed choice. And both come from the work of Dr. Bill Rogers, and both are designed to keep the behaviour conversations calm, focused, and again free from that emotional tug-of-war that can derail a lesson. These strategies often come in handy for when you're in the situation where you've corrected a student and you've been immediately hit with, "but everyone else was talking," or "why me," or "that's not fair." If you've been in one of those moments, this is the episode for you. Because the reality is, most of behaviour escalations don't come from the initial behaviour itself. They normally come from the argument that follows. We've all been there in that situation where the student feels like they need to give the one up on us and we need to get the one up on them. And so we simply just get into the back and forth argument that occurs, and we lose sight of the primary behaviour. The partial agreement and directed choice helps us avoid that argument entirely. Let's look at part one, partial agreement, which is a defusal strategy. We're taught that when a student pushes back with excuses or deflection or comparison, the worst thing we can do is debate the accuracy of their claim. That's how we get dragged into the weeds or the jungle of student behaviour. Instead, we use a really simple line of partial agreement. Some examples are, student says, "but everyone was talking." We respond with, "maybe so," or "that might be the case," or "you could be right." But then pivot. "But what I need from you right now is..." This does a couple of things. It firstly diffuses the argument agenda. You're not fighting their claim. It then keeps the focus on the behaviour. The focus is not on the debate. And finally, it preserves the student's dignity, which reduces defiance. You're not agreeing that their version is correct. You're simply not disagreeing in a way that involves conflict. Again, being the economics nerd, let's look at the behavioural economics behind it. The partial agreement strategy in behavioural economics is also known as reactance reduction. Reactance is a human tendency to resist when we feel our autonomy is being threatened. And teenagers, as we well know, are especially sensitive to this. When we say, "no you weren't," or "that's not true," or "stop making excuses," we're triggering that reactance. Students feel the need to defend themselves, even if they know they were off task. Partial agreements lowers reactance by acknowledging their perspective without validating the behaviour. It's the behavioural nudge that says, "I'm not here to argue, I'm just here to get you back on track." And for part two, directed choice, it's about restoring agency for the individual. Once you've used partial agreement to diffuse the moment, the next step, if the student is continuing to misbehave or isn't following a reasonable request by you, is to offer them a directed choice. It's another Bill Rogers strategy and is a great one also by Mark Daly in the Classroom Management Handbook, a great book to get. It's a brilliant strategy because it restores the student's sense of control while still guiding them towards the expected behaviour. Examples of how directed choice sounds like could be, "James, you have two options. You can work quietly at your desk or you can move to the front table. It's up to you." Or, "Amy, show me the task you're working on now, or I can check back in 1 minute. Your choice." Or finally, "Tom, you can complete the work here, or take it over to the reflection desk. You decide." The key is that both choices lead to the desired behaviour. You're not offering a choice between compliance or non-compliance. You're offering a choice between two pathways to compliance. The behavioural economics lens of this is the principle of bounded choice. Humans respond better when they feel they have agency, even if that agency has limits. By giving students two acceptable options, you reduce reactance, increase cooperation, and maintain your authority without having to have confrontation. It helps the students save face. It's a structured way of saying, you're still in control, but I'm putting the boundaries in place of what's reasonable. Let's have a look at some examples of how this may play out in the classroom. Example 1, the classic student response of everyone was talking. You might say, Tom, I need you focused on the instructions. And Tom responds, I wasn't the only one talking. And then you give your partial agreement. Maybe so, Tom, but what I need from you right now is for you to be listening. If Tom continues to resist, you say, you can listen from your seat or you can move to the front so it's easier for you to focus. It's your choice. Calm, clear, and no argument. Another example, there might be a student who's refusing to start work. And you might say, Molly, I need you to begin the test now. And Molly responds, this test is stupid. Look, no one else has even started. The partial agreement might be, that might be how it feels, but what I need from you is to get started. And if Molly still doesn't begin, you say, Molly, you can start the first question now, or I can give you some quiet space at the table. Your choice. Again, no debate, no escalation, no power struggle. For classroom teachers trying to embed this behavioural strategy, what I'd be suggesting is you practice the partial agreement phase on your own. You might be saying, maybe so, but what I need from you now is. And then if you get students debating their version of events, you simply avoid that. And you use the directed choice only when the request is reasonable and achievable. You need to be ensuring too that you keep your tone calm and neutral. The real power is in delivery. You're not getting emotionally triggered by their behaviours. For middle leaders who are mentoring classroom teachers, I'd be looking at the scripts for a partial agreement responses and model direct choicing during your walkthroughs or during faculty meetings. We might be debriefing saying, did we drift into that secondary issue and how could we have put in the directed choice? If we reinforce these strategies, we'll often see a reduction in escalation in classroom contexts. And then finally, for senior leaders, how do we have partial agreement and directed choice into whole school behaviour language? We need to be providing training that emphasises the relational correction, not the confrontation. I'd be looking at how the behaviour policies support that teacher autonomy in using those strategies. And again, looking for where we can, celebrate the wins of those who are doing it well. Even better, if we can capture them on film, implementing those behaviour strategies. The partial agreement and directed choice are two of the most elegant behaviour strategies that we have. It's a really sharp, effective way to keep conversations and redirections small, calm, and focused. They reduce that reactance that students can sometimes fall into, but they also keep the dignity of the young person, helping them re-engaged into learning without feeling like they're being attacked. For teachers, when we stop arguing with students and start guiding, we'll often see behaviour improving. Not because the students fear us, but because they feel respected by us. That's all for today's episode of Empowering Educators. If you're keen to dive deeper into more of what we do for both teachers and students at Empowerment Ed, or explore our face-to-face professional learning opportunities, head to www.empowerment-ed.com.au to see what we're building for educators like you. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, take care.